Hello everyone and welcome to my video showing the best ways to get free Herblore XP on your account. This video is mainly focused around XP for ironmen, but I'm sure main counts can also find a few methods in this video useful. Let's go ahead and jump into our first method, which is actually a pretty unknown method. Now the first method I am going to showcase in this video is actually making Guthix rest. In order to make Guthix rest, you do need the quest One Small Favor completed. To make Guthix rest, just go ahead and fill some bowls with water. Use the bowls on the range to make bowls of hot water, and then once you have bowls of hot water, go ahead and use it on an empty cup. Afterwards, you need to do it in this order. Use 2 Guam leaves, then a Marr, and then a Harlander, and then you'll make yourself a Guthix rest. Guthix rest could be a good way to get rid of your low level herbs, as getting the secondaries could be a bit annoying, and they are also actually pretty decent food, as a full Guthix rest will heal 20 HP, and you can take it 5 sips at a time. And it is also like a potion where it doesn't have an attack tick delay when you eat them. So a very good method, especially for ironmen. Before we move on to our next method, I do want to mention there is another way to get rid of your Guams and Marr, but it does require you not to have completed the Lunar Island quest. I will leave a link to the video in description by Devious. He showcases the method perfectly. For now, let's just go ahead and move on to our next method. The next method I'll be mentioning in this video is making Serum 207s. Terramins could be a pretty hard herb to get the secondary for, as limp roots are pretty decently hard to get in large quantities on an ironman, especially since you do need the limp root roots in order to make super strength potions. So instead, I would make Serum 207s with your Terramin potions, and one very cool thing about making these potions is there is no confirmed message in chat, and there is no delay on making the potions, so if you're able to spam through them pretty fast, you could end up getting a full inventory done in a very short amount of time, which ends up being pretty decent XP per hour. One additional thing I wanted to showcase with the Serum 207 method is how to get a large quantity of ashes pretty fast. There is no other great way. There is Cerberus who drops a decent amount of ashes sometimes, and then you can also just pick up ashes on World 2 GE. But if you go to Nightmare Zone and then go ahead and dream, practice, hard difficulty, and then you scroll down and then you go to Farid, so this will require the Desert Treasure quest completed, and then we're going to go ahead and drink. One thing you will need on you is a expendable darts you don't mind losing, and then you will also need ice gloves in order to attack Farid. Just wait a few seconds and then Farid will spawn. I recommend having the protect from melee prayer on so you can last a little bit long, and then once Farid is right next to you, just start darting him down, and you'll notice as you dart him down, ashes will just start appearing under him. As the ashes start appearing, you don't really need to pick them up as they show up, because when you're low HP, you actually start red clicking on him, and you'll notice as you red click, he actually won't be able to attack you. Now once he's not under me anymore, he can attack me, but if we go ahead and start attacking him again and get a few more ashes under him, and we go ahead and collect these ashes, as we collect these ashes, we will be red clicking, so he will no longer be able to attack me. Now we've focused on low level herb methods quite a bit in this video already, but there is one last one I want to mention, and that is making Tarr with low level herbs. Now there isn't a great way to get a large quantity of Swamp Tarr in Iron Man, but there is one monster that drops quite a bit of it, which is Zulrah. Zulrah will come up throughout this video as it does have another method that is very good with Herblore, but let's just go ahead and showcase this one. If we go ahead and use Harlander on the Swamp Tarr, you'll see we get 73 XP per. We use Terramin on the Swamp Tarr, we get ourselves a nice 55 XP. Marr, we get a nice 42 XP, and Guams, we get 30 XP. If you notice, that's actually more XP than you would get by making a normal potion with it. So if you do have a large quantity of Tarr from Zulrah, I highly recommend using it on the low level herbs, especially the ones that you need to get secondaries for. The next method I'll be mentioning in this video is stamina potions. Now stamina potions aren't an unknown method by any means, but for Herblore XP they're a lot better than I think a lot of people realize. In order to make stamina potions, you do need Animalized Crystals, which you buy with Marks of Grace. 10 Marks of Grace will buy you 1 Animalized pack, and 1 Animalized pack will contain 100 Animalized Crystal. 1 Animalized Crystal is equal to 25.5 Herblore XP, so this 100 right here should be around 2.5k XP. Not too bad, especially since it is an extremely AFK method, as you can see here. You just confirm once and it'll do an entire inventory of stamina potions. And it ends up adding up quite a bit if you do all of your agility training at rooftops and then buy all stamina potions. On the subject of agility, there is one more method that revolves around it, which is the Hallowed Sepulture. In order to do this Hallowed Sepulture, you do need Sins of the Father quest completed, and if you have no idea what I'm talking about when it comes to Herblore training, if we go ahead and trade the Mysterious Stranger, he sells Hallowed Sacks for 100 Hallowed Marks. Now, these things have a decent chance of giving Renar seeds and Renar herbs, and that's why I want to mention this video, as if you end up doing a lot of Hallowed Sepulture, it ends up adding up to a lot of Herblore XP. The next method on the list that I will be showing is very interesting, as it doesn't actually require any herbs to make the potion, yet we are still going to be making potions. And we are going to be making weapon poison plus pluses. It does require 82 Herblore. In order to make this, you need coconuts, vials, cave nightshade, and poison ivy. What you want to do is hammer your coconuts in order to get half coconuts. Once you have a bunch of half coconuts, go ahead and use the half coconuts on the vial, and then you'll go ahead and collect a bunch of coconut milk. Once you have the coconut milk, go ahead and use the cave nightshade, and you will be making the first half of the potion, which is weapon poison plus plus unfinished. Once all of those made, then you just use poison ivy on the weapon poison plus pluses, and there you go. 190 XP per potion, so it ends up being a very good method, especially for ironmen, as you use 0 herbs in the process of making this potion. Now the next method I'll be mentioning is actually catching infernal eels and using the lava scale shards. To catch infernal eels, you do need a fire cape, 80 fishing, an oily fishing rod, and also ice gloves. Now when you catch the infernal eels, all you do is break them down with a hammer like so, and when doing that, you will get yourself some lava scale shards. Sometimes you get more per inventory, sometimes you get less. We got 36 in just a short amount of time here. And you do need 84 Herblore. Use the lava scale shards on the anti-fire potions, and you'll actually make extended anti-fire potions. I'd say it's pretty worth to probably go ahead and fish enough lava scale shards to make all of your anti-fire potions you have into extended anti-fire potions, given you have 84 Herblore, as you'll gain quite a bit in Herblore XP, and the extended anti-fire is super nice. One thing I should also mention is if you do plan to make super anti-fire potions in the future, you do need to make super anti-fire first and then extend them afterwards. So if you do plan on doing that, make sure you save yourself some anti-fire potions there. Now the next method I'm going to show you guys is actually the Ancient Brew, which is a potion that just came out not too long ago with Nex. In order to make Ancient Brews, you do need Nihil shards, which you can actually get pretty commonly if you do your spiritual mage tasks here at the Ancient Prison. And what you need to do is you take the Nihil shards, you grind them with the pestle and mortar, and then after you did that, you do need 85 Herblore in order to make yourself Ancient Brews. Use that on a Dwarfweed potion actually, so you no longer have to grab a bunch of Wines of Zamrock, because that can be quite annoying, and you get 190 XP per Ancient Brew. Not too bad if I must say so myself. The next method I'll be showing on the list is making Anti-Venoms, which can be done by using Zora scales on your Antidote ++. In order to get Zora scales, you can either kill Zora or cut Sacred Eels, as I'm doing in this video. That being said, you probably won't have a high quantity of Antidote ++s unless you actually kill Zora, because that's where I've mainly gotten mine, and it's one of the only sources you can really get it from an Ironman. Like I said, you do need 87 Herblore in order to make Anti-Venoms, so if we do that, we actually get quite a bit XP, 120 XP per potion, so I'd say it's worth it if you've gathered quite a few Antidotes ++s and you want to make some Anti-Venoms. Just go ahead and use your Zora scales, a decent amount of Herblore XP there. You can upgrade them into Anti-Venom pluses by using a Torstol on them at 94 Herblore. It's quite a high Herblore level, but Anti-Venom pluses are pretty nice. Though, personally, I would recommend saving your Torstols to make super combat potions at 90 Herblore. The last two methods I'll be mentioning in this video are a bit more practical and, in my opinion, the most beneficial in this video. And we're going to start it off with Leaping Sturgeons. Now, if you're not sure what these things are, you can get them by Barbarian Fishing, and you actually want to bank them whenever you have a full inventory of them. If you're curious of why, and I'll go ahead and showcase my bank, I actually have 8,000 of them banked, is if you cut them, you get yourself caviar, and that can be used to make mixes. As you can see, I have a stamina mix here, and we're also going to showcase making some mixes in this video. If we go ahead and cut these sturgeons, as you can see, we get ourselves caviar, and then if you use caviar on a 2-dose potion, you can actually make yourself mixes as we do here. Now, as you do see, you do have to manually click them, but as you also may have saw, is I got 57 Herblore XP per mix I made right there. So a lot of the useless potions, or even stamina potions, if you don't mind making 2-dose stamina potions, go ahead and turn them into mixes. You end up getting quite a few XP here, as the 8,000 sturgeon I have banked here will end up being probably around 400,000 Herblore XP I have banked just from 87 to 91 fishing. And the last method I'll be mentioning in this video, like I said, one of the more useful methods is Kingdom. You do need the Kingdom of Miscellania quest done, and I also recommend Royal Trouble. And then if we go ahead and collect and show our resource allocation, I have it on 10 herb, and currently I just have it on 5 wood to get some maple logs. I've had it run for a good 4 or 5 days now, so if we go ahead and collect our resources, you can see why Kingdom is very, very powerful, especially for ironmen, as it's just free Herblore XP. I hope you guys found this video useful. I'm personally going to be using a lot of methods that I showcased in this video to train my Herblore on my ironmen actually right now, as that is what I'm going to be doing on the next episode of my Group Ironman series. If you want, feel free to subscribe, and the next episode of Group Ironman should be coming out in a few days. Otherwise, if you did enjoy this video or found it helpful, feel free to give it a like. And if you guys know any other methods or want to comment on any of the methods in this video, feel free to do so. And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video, which I said will be another Group Ironman episode. So, I'll see you guys there. Later.